So today we are on what used to be, I think, the original Petrify meme team, the Dark meme team, pretty much that. And you can see we have like every comeback package pretty much available to us at our disposal. And I went ahead and did a bunch of heroic scrolls, and what we now have is a bunch of hero copies. So that's cool, great. I want to build this hero up and see what she can do, because honestly, she sounds a little interesting. Whether it's going to be good or not, I really don't know. Do we actually have the food for this? Hold on, wait a minute, I didn't check. Yeah, we got the food for this. That's easy enough. Let's get all these hero copies in that we just don't care about, get her built up to 10-star, and then take her further, because we should have a ton of food on this account anyway. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. So Alikita 10-star is here on this account. Beyond that, do we have more puppets and stuff? I really don't. I mean, we have an artifact here, magic stone sword, great. It's just like I don't even know what's on this account at this point. I have all these random materials, eggs, gear, like this account has not been touched very often. So I think we might need to make a little bit of food here, or we just regress a hero, which, you know, I'm not against. Yeah, let's just regress you. We got the resources for this. Give me all that food so I can just build this hero up easily, and then we can do some testing, because I want to go over her skills. They look intriguing. They look like they might have some viability, but it really depends on the team that she's going to be paired with. Honestly, you're going to want to have as many debuffs as possible on enemy heroes, which is fine in the early game because none of the enemies purify those abilities off. They basically just leave them on there, and you're not having a bad time. Now, once you get past like Sealand 20 and into the newer game modes, the enemies start purifying your abilities, which is a very bad thing for Alikita. So let's see what we can do. We're going to try to build her a little bit offensive here. I don't know how far we're going to be able to take it with her. I don't even know what our stellar count looks like. It's not quite enough. Get some decent gear on her, maybe get some resonance gear. Let's get this upgraded all the way to the max, which is only 3-star. And I think we kind of want to go for something offensive here as well. Maybe speed oriented, skill damage, precision. I think just going for some sort of skill attack probably going to be the safe bet here. So she is what? Yeah, she is a mage. We do know that. We need to do an awakening on her too. Watch this be like the best awakening you've ever seen in your entire life. Wow, we actually have a lot of contract starry gems here. That is kind of surprising. Do we have a free one? We do not. That just looks so cool. I have to admit, this hero looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely garbage. Not good at all. So, okay. Let's see what we can do. Gear wise, we probably want to get a set of gear that's better for her, right? And honestly, might as well just take what we got here, and honestly might not even use the Transcendence hero at this point. Rui Scepter is definitely not going to be the play. Honestly, Punisher Immortal could be a cool one. I kind of want to build just tanky for the time being, and we do need resources, so gimme. G-Stir, random G-Stir on the account. Don't know why, don't know what he's doing, but he's going to basically provide us with some good resources here and get this fully upgraded. We'll go over her abilities here in a second, because some of them are interesting. Her active skill seems good, but again, I feel like if you really want to ramp her damage up, you definitely need to have multiple debuffers on your squad, because she's going to do more damage based on the number of debuffs the enemy has. So let's just go into this with a V4 hero and see what it looks like. So going over her abilities now that she's V4, basically she did get an upgrade here, so she does now have this 100 speed as well on top of the attack, HP, and control immunity, which is good. No damage reduction, not so good. Her first ability changes the base attack to deal damage to one random enemy, which not that great, with a 100% chance to randomly remove 2 attribute buffs from the enemy, which is good. Afterward, there's a 70% chance to extend the remaining dots, attribute reductions, etc. by 1 round. It says all of them. That's interesting. 70% chance, though, not a guarantee. At the end of each round, grants data augmentation on all allies, excluding herself. So this is going to give them either attack, damage reduction, speed, or energy. not affected by the lasting rounds, and then armor, crit, and crit damage. So it's only one of them, and it's only to other allies, so it's not like she can give herself damage reduction, which isn't great. But the big nuke she has here is Power Source Genesis. Active skill, it inflicts data destruction 3 to 6 times on 3 random enemies. So that means you get anywhere between 9 and 18 different effects on random targets. Randomly inflicts one of the following. It's going to give attack reduction, damage reduction, speed reduction, energy reduction, armor, crit, or crit damage. And then she's going to deal damage to those targets for 960 and then an extra 480. But for every one type of debuff that enemy owns by the target, the extra damage dealt will be increased by 480%. So we want more debuffs that are not included on here. However, I don't think dots are going to work, and that is something we're going to have to try to test. It's gonna be really difficult to do this test though, like really difficult. I think I might have to set up one of my alternate accounts to just have a single hero. Oh my gosh, I never even set it up. Okay, nope, not switch account. Don't need to do that. We need to find another server. I guess we could use this one, and we can just put a hero that doesn't have like. Actually, I guess we could put like a hero that has like buffs in our lineup here. Who would be a good one? Drake? No. Maybe just the Ilamok. We need someone probably a little strong. Feel like we need someone strong. We'll just get that locked in, and then we'll come back over to our old school Petrify meme team. Let's see how these abilities just work in general. So we're going to go up against you, and we are only putting you in the lineup. And honestly, we'll go with like a burn type situation. So let's see how this looks right out of the gate. So right here, we get hit. He gets that buff. We got stunned. That doesn't help. Hopefully we don't just immediately die. So we're getting a lot of debuffs here. Oh my gosh, Ilamok is wrecking us. Okay, so we removed his buff, and then we got stunned again. Oh my gosh. She has control immunity, yet somehow she's getting stunned every single time. So yeah, that control immunity is not doing much for us. Let's take a look now. Maybe we don't get stunned. Okay, that's good. We use the basic, which should remove this buff. Yep, there it goes. The buff goes away. Now we're going to use our active skill here. If we don't get stunned or killed, maybe we made him a little too strong. Here we go. So now we apply. Man, that only looks like it applied 2 debuffs on him. Unless, this is interesting. It looked like it only applied 2 debuffs. So right out of the gate, it doesn't seem like super strong of an ability. We're going to get rid of his buffs, but eventually we are going to die here too. So I think let me do this to make him a little weaker so he's not just completely overpowering us. Let's see what happens if we take the monster out of the situation. Let's just go with no monster here so he's a little bit weaker and might give us a better 1v1 scenario to look at. I don't know where the big advantage of removing buffs would be in a lot of game modes, but we are faster now because he doesn't have that. And now there's no debuffs on there. So we are going to do what? We go into the ultimate active skill here. Applies a couple debuffs, and then like we didn't even break through the shield. Granted, there's a crown and all that fun stuff. God, he's still so strong. He's still so strong. OP heroes. OP. So yeah, he's gonna get that buff again, but we aren't even using basic attack. There we go. Wonder if we get one more active skill off. Maybe. Here we go. So there's no debuffs. And again, it only applied like 1 debuff, which is really weird. I don't understand what's going on with this ability then, because if you look at the active skill, it inflicts data destruction 3 to 6 times. I guess some of them might be lowering like energy. And if we're hitting like a bunch of energy ones, that one is not going to be a type of debuff that's on the target. And I'm guessing too, if we do go into this, and we add in like a Death Sworn, like we need to see what happens with the burn now. Hard to tell how many hits actually happened right there. Let's try to refresh that. Go one more time. We need to really see how many times the active skill pops up damage numbers here. So this is going to put a burn on the target here. There we go. And then now we use our active skill. How many times do we see it pop up? 1, 2, 3. It looked like 3, but it looked like it's so hard to tell how these damaging numbers are actually working and if they even are. The burst is definitely nowhere near as good as I thought it would be. Granted, we are also going up against an Ilamok, so that's part of it. We could try putting a weaker hero in to see if it's easier to tell what's going on here. So instead of you, we could just put in like you with a pet maybe. And that might be a good balanced ground. Granted, that account we're on right there has some treasure train and stuff. This one basically does not. So it's hard to do a fair test on this. We got the 2 debuffs there, and then she does what? So yeah, she is applying it. So it must have been like, man, I guess maybe as like a regular hero, she might have some good benefits to her, like nukes and stuff. But the big problem is she doesn't have sustain. So basically running her, you almost need to run her with balanced strike, even have a chance to survive. And on top of that, then she needs crit chance, and she doesn't have crit chance. Not as a default hero. Only Transcendence heroes have that luxury of getting a bunch of bonus crit. And the fact that she's a mage, I don't think she gets any crit from her tech either, right? Oh, we don't even have any tech. My goodness, look at this. Look at the state that we're in on this account. But again, I don't think any of these give crit, right? Which is going to be a downfall of a mage. Oh, wait, there is some crit chance. That's interesting. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. That's actually not that bad. Running her without any skills here is probably a big oopsie overall, because that is going to give us some of the stats we kind of need to compete. And we might be do better now, but that gives 20% crit. So she's up to 25, which does mean Balanced Strike could be a viable thing. I don't think she's going to have a chance against any of these types of game modes, though. I think she's going to be just a little bit too weak overall. We can see what her damage looks like in this type of scenario. Although, again, we kind of have like a dark team that doesn't have a ton of abilities. And that kind of is one of like her downfalls, I feel like, is when you take a look at a lot of these heroes, most of them don't have debuffs. They either have some sort of curse, skill mark, something like that. I don't think any of them really have any type of abilities. Well, each base attack has a 25% chance to reduce the target armor. There could be some synergies. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll throw her in some good testing here this weekend to see how she actually works out, because as it stands right now, not really sure. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Alikita is here. Maybe she has some viability. If we can find an early game account to test her on as well, that would be fun. And I'll see you guys next time.